Perpetrators don't just groom children, they meticulously groom entire families, exploiting vulnerabilities to gain the trust that grants them access. Shockingly, research confirms some parents then actively twist reality for the child, defining horrific abuse as a healthy expression of love, a joyful experience, or even a punishment the child deserves. This calculated psychological manipulation can make the unthinkable feel chillingly normal within the supposed safety of home. This careful process, often called grooming, targets not just the child but also their family and community. It starts subtly, maybe with innocent touches like pats on the back, slowly moving towards hugs or wrestling. This physical grooming desensitizes the child. Alongside this, psychological grooming builds a connection. The perpetrator might give special gifts, break rules together, or offer lots of attention, making the child feel special but also confused and isolated. They might groom the parents too, appearing helpful and trustworthy, gaining unsupervised access. This careful manipulation can lead to devastating forms of abuse, including incest. Incest involves sexual behaviors between closely related individuals, violating society's deepest taboos. The study of incest as a real event, not just a fantasy, is relatively recent. Shockingly, some studies suggested that father-daughter incestuous activity might occur in roughly 1 in 20 families with natural fathers, and even more frequently, perhaps 1 in 7, in families where daughters live with a stepfather. This abusive incest is common, and its consequences are deeply detrimental, leaving victims with significant psychiatric damage and distress. The core of this damage often stems from betrayal trauma. This happens when the very people who have a duty to protect and nurture you, like a parent or caregiver, violate that trust. The threat to basic attachment needs is so immense that the victim might even deny the betrayal happened just to survive. This can lead to traumatic bonding, where mistreatment gets confusingly linked with a twisted form of caring. The secrecy surrounding the abuse is a key element. Perpetrators work hard to ensure privacy and might use threats to keep the victim silent. Often, the child emerges from this brainwashing filled with profound self-loathing, convinced they are somehow evil or responsible. They fear that revealing the secret will only confirm their badness and lead to rejection. When disclosure finally happens, perhaps accidentally or through a vague comment, the family's reaction is critical. Sadly, loyalty to the perpetrator, family shame, or denial often takes priority over the child's well-being. Families might attack those trying to help, turning the situation upside down, where protecting the family name becomes more important than protecting the child. This phase of suppression can be incredibly damaging, sometimes even more traumatic than the abuse itself. The victim feels helpless, powerless, trapped, and forced into accommodation. Making disclosure difficult are feelings of incomprehension, shame, intense loyalty conflicts, and fear of retaliation. It's estimated that only about 30% of victims reveal their situation directly. The consequences of this childhood trauma can resonate throughout a person's life, impacting their mind, body, and relationships. Patterns of adaptation that help someone survive within an abusive family often prove maladaptive in later life. Victims often face stigmatization when they do reveal their experiences, leading to mistrust of authorities, especially if past attempts at disclosure led to negative outcomes. The symptoms experienced by survivors are wide-ranging and can include PTSD-like conditions, anxiety, depression, and various physical or somatic complaints. Flashbacks, nightmares, and obsessive thoughts about the event are common. Hyperarousal, where the person is constantly on edge and reactive to perceived threats, disrupts sleeping and eating patterns. This profound betrayal extends beyond incestuous abuse. Infidelity in a romantic relationship is another form of betrayal that can cause devastating emotional pain and trauma. Discovering a partner's affair can feel like a mental shock, leading to what some experts call post-infidelity stress disorder or PISD. The recovery phases can mirror the stages of grief. Infidelity, whether emotional or physical, triggers intense feelings. Research shows it can increase anxiety, depression, and stress. The rejection involved can even cause brain changes similar to withdrawal from an addiction. Love releases chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine, and infidelity disrupts these pathways. Emotional affairs, where a partner forms a deep emotional connection with someone else, can be particularly damaging. They represent a profound betrayal of trust, eroding the emotional intimacy that forms the foundation of a relationship. These affairs often develop subtly, making them hard to detect until significant damage is done. Signs might include increased secrecy with phones or whereabouts, emotional distance, changes in social media habits, and defensive behavior when asked about a particular friend. For the betrayed partner, it can feel like being an outsider in their own relationship, sometimes even leading to feelings of being gaslit if their concerns are denied or minimized. Cheating affects the entire family unit. When a parent cheats, they are inherently neglecting their family responsibilities, spending time, energy, and possibly finances on the affair partner. This neglect is a form of abuse. Children often sense the distance and tension, even if they don't understand the specifics. This can cause them confusion, anxiety, feelings of abandonment, and potentially lead to trust issues in their own future relationships. Healing from these deep betrayals, whether from childhood abuse or adult infidelity, is a complex and highly individual process. Treatment often follows stages: establishing safety, processing the memories and mourning the losses, and finally, reintegration into a life less burdened by the trauma. Therapists face challenges as patients may project feelings from past betrayals onto them, transference, expecting exploitation or rejection. Shame, guilt, and self-loathing are pervasive, making it hard for victims to trust the therapeutic process. Rumination over the accuracy of memories or self-blame is common, especially in cases of polyincest. While therapy cannot change the past, a circumspect, gentle, and patient approach can help the vast majority of survivors experience considerable improvement and enjoy an enhanced quality of life without repeated victimization. However, much remains unresolved in our understanding. How do long-term physical health consequences manifest years after infidelity trauma? What specific factors differentiate those who experience suicidal ideation after betrayal from those who don't? How does the complex dynamic of a mother-son relationship, when toxic or involving boundary violations like those hinted at in some stories, truly impact the son's development and future relationships beyond the general attachment styles discussed? These are areas where more research and understanding are needed. If this exploration of complex family dynamics and betrayal resonated with you, please like this video, share it with others who might find it insightful, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the human experience.